Hey Trans, welcome back to Pokemon Deck Check. I would be Poke Dad.
He is Poke Dad, and I'm the Dancing Bird for space.
And today on Pokemon TCG Unbroken Bonds, Santa Clara concluded, right? And we've got a little bit of information to go over.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do our meta forecast report card, right?
That's what we're here for.
How do you think we did?
I feel like we did solid.
You think we know what we're talking about, or you think we're lost?
I think we got lost in the sauce.
I think we did pretty good myself. Okay, so can we zoom this in? We don't really have a format to go by here. This way people can kind of see it. Keep going. Do another.
Jeez.
It's still kind of blurry.
Mega zoom.
One more.
Oh, gee.
It helps me see it too.
You crazy?
That looks good. Maybe the folks at home can see it, or the folks on mobile.
Hopefully.
So, we said, real quick recap. We said the three best decks were what?
Charizard, Zapdos, and Zekrom Pikachu.
Okay, so now we don't have all the decks here. So, what we do know is there were Zekrom Pikachu, and there were a ton of Charizard Reshiram, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right there. There was a bunch.
It's everywhere.
And then there was a bunch of Zapdos, too. Right there. Zapdos. But most of the list had, like, the Beast, the Ultra Beast version.
Mm-hmm.
Which we knew was good. We weren't sure which Zapdos version to play, right?
Yeah.
That's why we had both Zapdoses down there. Either the Zapdos with like a small tech line of Jolteon or the Zapdos with the Ultra Beast. So,
yeah.
Bug flying around. Alright, so I guess the surprise of day 2 would have to be this Lucario Vileplume running around.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of top players played it. There it is again, right here, these two. And then you had another team that played this Shedinja, Zebstrika, Oranguru control deck. Pendarvis, Azul, that whole team were kind of playing that.
Yeah.
That style. So, quite interesting stuff. You had kind of the two different teams, Joey Roediger and Ellis, playing the Vileplume. Why do you think the Lucario Melmetal Vileplume saw so much success in a field with a ton of Charizard?
There's a lot of basics in this format.
I think they're key. I think most people didn't listen to Pokemon Deck Check on to run Volcanion, Baby Volcanion, right?
Yeah.
And so they just opted for the heavy Charizard line, possibly a Snorlax, and they had no non-GX attacker. Yeah. And so all they had to do was set up Vileplume, and it was GG, right?
Is it basic or GX and EX?
I
think it's all basic.
Is it all basic or is it GX?
Pretty
I think it's... I thought it was all...
I think it's all basic. It's like...
All basic.
See?
I told you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you. So, alright, so all basic. So, obviously, they're going to see a ton of success, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because basics are obviously everywhere.
That is the meta.
So it was a good call, you know?
Yeah.
We tried out the Lucario Melmetal, but we didn't really necessarily play it with Vileplume, right?
No.
No, so it's a really good call, solid call. And you saw there's a whole bunch, probably.
Yeah.
You know, and this gets deceiving by when you see so many in day 2. I think it's more of the quality of players that played the deck rather than its actual popularity.
Mm-hmm.
So that can definitely be deceiving. Because far and away, the most played deck was Charizard. It's just you have these top-notch players playing the control decks and the Vileplume decks that just, the middle-tier players, probably weren't expecting. So, something of note, Mr. Ernie Espinoza, who keeps track of the channel, coming in day 2 with Zort Gyarados.
Attaboy.
Had a kid. Had a boy. So, alright, so let's get into... So I'd say we called the top 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so... Let's look at... Well, we'll get to that here in a second. Let's get to the winning list. Keon's list. We're not going to go over everything, but we're just going to go very interesting with the 4... I can't highlight it. Can y'all see that? No. Once again, the dancing bear didn't zoom. There we go. Now we can see it.
We're going to act like I did that.
Very interesting here with the 4 Volcanion. Because if you'll remember, and the Snorlax, we can go ahead and cover Snorlax. Because if you remember, in our first deck list, 4 baby Volcanion and a Snorlax.
It's almost as if we know what we're doing.
And this was published March 1st. So 2.5 months ago, okay? 2.5 months, we said play 4 baby Volcanion and a Snorlax.
Almost 2,300 people saw it, so I mean...
And, well...
We got witness.
And I got to looking back at the comments. Spaceman, nah, I'm not filling this list. Too many Volcanion. No Salazzle. The deck don't need Fiery Flint. Alright. Spaceman, there's Fiery Flint. There's 4 Volcanion, there's Snorlax. So, I'm not feeling your comment, buddy. Okay? Hey, y'all are always giving us crap in the comments. Oh, y'all misplayed, or Dancing Bear Bomb, or Poke Dad Bomb, right? So... it's only fair. If you're going to dish it out, then you can receive it, right?
Heck yeah.
So, it's all good. I think there was another nice little comment. Hey, I wonder, how did you think of such rubbish build? Oh, Mr. Thong Kevin? I guess we just thought of the first place winning list, pretty much. So, there you go. That's how we thought of the rubbish build. So, yeah. Enough of the rant. Enough of the attack. Call off the dogs here. Alright, so super interesting stuff. The Greens exploration, we heard rumors of it. We never actually tried out the Green Search.
No.
So I can't say...
we didn't have it because we had the Lele's and the Didenays.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going with the Greens Exploration and then Custom Catcher, 4 Nest Ball, no really Ultra Ball, really.
Lieutenant Surge. There's no need for Ultra Ball if you have Nest Ball and you
Yeah.
tap with Lele's.
So it's a very interesting build. The tech of Eevee Snorlax Genius, that gets around the Zoroark decks, the Zoroark Parasian, the Zoroark Dugong, the Zoroark Slowking, Zoroark Gyarados. Super, super spicy tech, right?
Super strong.
Yeah. Definitely really good stuff there with the Snorlax. Good call. 4 baby Volcanion easily deals with the Zapdos. 110, you're one-shotting them. And then they have to spend at least 2 Electro Powers to one-hit KO you.
That's a
So,
lot.
and that's why we always push for the at least 2 baby Volcanions. Plus, we played a Rescue Stretcher. Okay, so Keon opted for just 1 Rescue Stretcher.
Jeez. And 4 baby Volcanion.
Yeah, so he knew that Zapdos and the other 1 prize attack decks would be popular. So, definitely.
Eevee Snorlax also isn't that bad of a starter. If you can get 5 energies attached, you can use the GX attack, and then you can draw up to 10 cards.
Definitely. Not a bad idea.
There.
Is that buggy? Okay, so let's look at and this place got first place. This deck got first place.
This place got their stuff.
So let's look at Shemansky's list. See what he's got going on because he got second place. 3 Charizard. He's opted for several non-GX attackers too. In a not our ideal non-GX attackers, right? Because we like the Baby Volcanion.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, seeing the value in playing the non-GX, and then also the 2 Jirachi. I think we play, 2 or 3? 2, yeah. So that's right on point. Not a fan of the Mew. However, next regional, I think Mew will be needed because I think you're going to see more spread options to deal with these big basics. Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely. The Dene Lele split looks good. Marshadow for disruption. Now instead of Cynthia or Lily, opted for the heavy Kiawe line and then heavy Acrobike line. Okay. And also only 13 fire, not the 12. Remember we had mentioned going up maybe to 13 fire. So definitely interesting stuff there. 2 Choice Band, of course. 2 Escape Boards for the Jirachi. 4 Ultra Ball. And only 2 Nest Balls. I think we touched on that earlier. Remember we had 3 Nest Balls and we felt like 3 was a little clunky, right?
Yeah.
And we basically said cut a Nest Ball and move it over to an extra fire energy, I believe, right?
Yeah, which would make 13 fire.
Not sure how I feel about the 3 Kiawe, but I see what he was going for. He wants to draw into it naturally rather than using a Lele to grab it. So it's kind of the same premises as like Professor's Elm. You'd rather have a clean Professor's Elm rather than wasting the bench spot with Lele getting the Elm. Kind of the same deal. So good stuff there, Alex. And then we had some Zapdos builds. I think they're pretty much identical. Nothing really new here other than Marshadow Machamp. That's definitely interesting, right? It could be a really nice tank. It's weak to Psychic. Psychic's not being played.
No.
Got the Mew to cover the bench. People were worried about the coughing, wheezing, and Coco.
I guess they knew something was there.
But it wasn't. And I think that goes back to when we try to profile a deck list, we try to be as transparent as possible. If we're not 100% sure on the list or how to play the list properly, like we didn't know whether to play Coco with it or to play Choice Band or Spell Tag. And I'm pretty sure we made it clear that, hey, we think this way's better, but we're not 100%, right?
Right.
So I think, like with the wheezing, is people just, it was off everybody's radar, and then you fast forward to less than a week before the tournament, and people are scrambling, and then they're not comfortable with the list, and so they just don't play it.
Yeah.
I think now they have a lot more time to refine and tweak that list to where they'll play it in the upcoming tournament, don't you?
That's why I think Mew needs to stay.
Yeah, I think for the next tournament, I would definitely take Mew. This tournament, I wouldn't have recommended Mew, but hey, who am I to complain? This is a third place list right here, so.
Yeah.
Got the 3 fighting and 5 lightning. That's something interesting. Got the Coco Prism. So, we're not going to go over everything. We don't have the Vileplume, Preston's Vileplume, Lucario Melmetal. This Oranguru Shedinja. This looks like a pain in the butt to play. This is not something I would do for 18 rounds.
I'd play it.
4 Zeb Striker for draw. Shedinja, you're going to attach so they can't take prizes. You're going to instruct Oranguru anything that they take prizes on to the bottom. And then you're going to use Ingo and Emmett to discard your hand and draw the 5 cards off the bottom of your deck. So that way you just keep the loop going. So you keep the loop of the Nakata Shindinja. They can't take prizes. And use resource management to shuffle in or Ingo and Emmett back at the bottom.
What
Or
is
not, you know.
Is that the electric Zeb Striker?
Yeah, just to draw.
Okay.
That way you draw. Because what you can do is, I think you can discard, draw, and if you don't like those, you can discard them and then use Ingo and Emmett.
What's with the 3 fire energies?
I'm guessing the 3 fire, obviously, for resource management.
Mm-hmm.
But also, knowing that all the fire decks are going to be there playing Heat Factory, discard a fire and draw. And then you can always resource management back at the bottom of your deck. And then you can draw it. So it's a way, because it doesn't look like they have a stadium bump other than one Champions Festival.
Oh.
So they're pretty much okay with just leaving Heat Factory in, and then they'll just abuse it the best they can, is what I think.
The Persian, is that the one with the catwalk?
This Persian is the one where your opponent discards until they have 4. So it's a deck out. You're not giving up prizes because you have the loop with Shedinja and resource management, and then you make them discard. So
Yeah, it's very interesting.
it is, and we could build it and test it.
Okay.
If you said you would play it,
I would.
I wouldn't play it.
What you mean you want it?
That doesn't
I
seem
thought
fun.
that's right up your alley.
No, it doesn't seem anything like up my alley. So, anywho, well done, well played. And then finally, Zekrom Pikachu. Like we said. 2 Zeraoras, 2 Zapdos. Everything looks pretty standard. New additions, the Dedenne, obviously. Electromagnetic Radar. It's beautiful. You can grab a Dedenne and your Zeraora. So, Electromagnetic Radar helps out a lot. Still 12 Lightning. So, everything looks pretty standard here, right? For a new Unbroken Bonds version of Zekrom. Nothing crazy going on here, right?
Nah. Looks good.
Got the 1 field blower. So, how do you think we did? I think we did awesome.
Yeah.
I think we hit it. Oh, just to really hammer home how well we did. Guess what won Sao Paulo?
Charizard.
Charizard. And there was another one, 6th place. 4 Jirachi. Pablo laying the smackdown in Brazil with the 4 Jirachi, 3 Charizard. 1-1 split like us. Only 1 Volcanion, baby Volcanion, but he's opted for another non-GX attacker and Turtonator. And he also opted for the Miltank, the healing. Nice 2-2 split on the switch, escape rope. Then 2 choice band, 2. I feel like this is like right on point with our list.
That's like what our list was.
Other than 4 Kiawe. Not on board with the Kiawe, but I can see why he doesn't play Cynthia. He doesn't play Lily. Instead, he's opted for 4 Acrobike.
Everything's pretty much the same except for the Acrobikes, the Jirachis, and then there's no Fiery Crystal.
So.
Oh, never mind. There is.
Yeah, there is.
Flint.
Yeah. So, good stuff. Also, something to note. You know what the 9th place list was for?
Oh, Wheezing.
Yeah, there's a Wheezing. We can take a look. Do you know what the 9th? Do you know what the 9th place list was? Jose Morar.
Charizard.
Charizard.
Hey.
So we had. Well, we can go over here in a sec. So 4 Coughing, 4 Wheezing, 4 Jirachi. Only 1 Coco. Not a fan of that, because you need a pivot point. You know. A free retreater. Larvitar, definitely on board with that. Interesting Frost Rotom. Very interesting, huh? So,
Charizard. Bam.
then Ditto, Mew, Marshadow. Yep. So, not sure how I feel about the Frost Rotom, but obviously they were worried about Charizard. With the Wheezing, it should put it in one-shot range. You know, because you're doing 20 to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage on it, plus the 40 damage.
Where's the switch? There's no switches.
3 escape ropes.
That's it. I mean,
Well,
you
they're-
gotta keep switching to do the 10 damage on everything.
Shut up. Shut up. Quiet. It's not how you play it.
And no 4 Guzmas?
No. No. I wish that's how it played. Once it goes the active, then you can put a damage counter on everything. That'd be so awesome. But no. But it's something interesting to note. I think you're going to see a lot more of this deck. Or not exactly this list, but something super close to this, right?
Yeah.
So. Anywho. We've got Charizard winning Sao Paulo. Charizard winning Santa Clara. Another Charizard in the top 8 at Sao Paulo. Another Charizard in the top 8 of Santa Clara. And then a bubble at 9th at Santa Clara with Charizard. So, going forward, would you say it's by far the best deck?
It's alright.
I mean, with it winning both regionals on the same weekend?
If you're a junior, that's gonna be the whole meta. For sure.
Yeah, because it's easy to play. Juniors can pick it up very, very easily, play it. And I gotta say, I'm not, with the addition of Snorlax GX, I'm not 100% confident with Zoroark Gyarados or Zoroark Slowking. Because Pablo beat a Zoroark Slowking in the final.
Yeah.
So,
Better hide the kids, hide the wives. Charizard's coming for him.
I think I like maybe Blaziken GX. It can go toe-to-toe with Charizard.
Mm-hmm.
It needs a good answer for the Baby Volcanions, though. Because I think people are now seeing the value in Baby Volcanion.
Yeah, 4 of them in one deck.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure where we go from here. I think Blaziken would be at the top. Because there's not really a good water option right now. Is why it's just not. There's nothing to put it in check. I also like the idea of a psychic deck based around Malamar and like Mimikyu, run spell tags, and you're just going to copy Charizard's attack for 230, right? And then Shrine, but maybe you have some Garatinas that you can put in with abilities to put extra damage. I think a Garatina kind of style spread deck. You got the Coco to spread the 20. Are you feeling that? Or
That sounds pretty good.
you can play Shrine in it. So think about, you do a Coco spread, you have Shrine, so 3 on Charizard, right? So it's down 240, right?
Right.
It knocks you out. You step up with Mimikyu, and then you copy the attack, and then the Shrine Tick, or a Wheezing Tick, or a Garatina drop, or another Coco spread, and it's knocked out.
That sounds really good.
So unless they play the Miltank healing, then yeah, I kind of,
Milton? Or
as of right now, I like kind of a Malamar, Garatina, Mimikyu, Coco kind of spread deck.
I think Mimikyu could own.
I think Mimikyu could be super, super good, right?
For all these really big one-hit KO decks, just... Man, you gone.
I think it could work, don't you?
Yeah.
And then, or even spell tag. You know, put spell tag on the Mimikyu, and if Charizard knocks it out after you hit into it, then you just place a damage counter on Charizard, and he's knocked out. So, I think a spread option, whether it's Wheezing Coco or just straight up Coco, Mimikyu, Malamar.
Yeah.
I think that could work. So So I don't know. We'll talk more about it later. But as of right now, final report card grade on our report card, I would say we got an A. I mean, we hit the first place Charizard, second place Charizard, and the ninth place Charizard. We hit the third place Zapdos, fourth place Zapdos, and then we hit the eighth place Zekrom.
The only things that we missed are the Vileplume, Malmo,
Yeah.
and
The Shedinja.
Yeah, which, I mean...
And I even said there's going to be some crazy control deck that abuses, like...
triple boost energy and...
Yeah, and there wasn't, but there was a crazy control deck. So...
Yeah.
But...
I didn't say that.
I think we did awesome, huh?
I'll give it B-.
A B- on how we did? We named the... Are you kidding me?
I don't know, but we missed those two in our...
Yeah, but we hit the first and second place and the first place deck in the other tournament.
All right.
And then we hit the third and fourth place deck on Zapdos. And then we hit the ninth place and the eighth place.
89.4.
I think we got an A. We got a solid A in my opinion. So, but anywho, enough rambling, ranting, right? You got anything else, Dance Bear?
No, I do not.
All right, so till next time, what do we got? Well, we got we're gonna look over the new set, review it.
Yeah.
All right, so, and in the meantime, we'll build that Malamar deck and test it against Charizard and see how it does, and we'll let you know.
Yup.
Okie doke.
Sounds good.
All right, till then, be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes.
Keep it real, homies.